We're going live with Power Hour. I'm not sure if I am looking at YouTube, waiting on YouTube. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are live on Wall Street Sizing Up, sponsored by StockTrade.tips. StockTrade.tips, if you went to that website, yes, it is a real website, you will find that we are a community on Telegram called StockTrade.tips. Makes sense. This is the Power Hour. The craziest hours in trading is the open, which you don't want to trade for the most part because you've got orders coming in from the day before, and the last hour of the day because you can have some wild things happen. So what we do is we try to find rockets and we take a gamble on those rockets. You can and will lose money at this. Sometimes we make money, a lot of times we don't. Yesterday we lost $1.50 to Yesterday we lost $1.50. The day before that we made like a couple bucks, like $5. So I see you, James. Why don't you jump on? So let's go to it, and let's do what we came here to do. My name is Mark. So shout out if you see any rockets on the chat, and I'll spot them, and we'll move forward from there. Let's go. All right. First up, let's see where markets are at. So the markets are selling off. Dow's selling off hard. Most of the stocks that we trade, the growth stocks, are going to be in the NASDAQ and some of the S&P. The NASDAQ's down 70, and the heat map just looks horrible, right? I will tell you a good sector, or it was a good sector this morning that I was looking at, was the financial sector, and it still looks fairly good. The banks look down, but the financials look fairly good as a whole. So, all right, I use Robinhood. I don't like Robinhood, but the thing about using Robinhood is I can absolutely spot the rockets as they take off. So what we do here is we spin the wheel, just like what everybody says the market is, a true casino, and we go to work. So we're not looking for grinders, guys. You will see some grinders. We are looking for rockets that take off. If you haven't been here before, a rocket must defeat two things. It's got to go green. It's got to beat the break even for the day, and it's got to beat the intraday high. If it does that, then that is what we call a rocket, and you'll see it going straight up. That is how we see rockets. As we go through here, I will give you some knowledge on some things that I've seen, some things that I know, and on the day's events that I've seen on Twitter, I've watched on YouTube, and that just through sheer experience. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're off. Spinning the wheel. Moho looks like it could turn. That's a true penny stock at 60, about half a cent today. It's very sad what's happened over at why am I offline? Let's make sure that we're still there. Guys, I've gone offline for a second. If you can still hear me, we will jump back on here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back on. Okay. YouTube sometimes does that. So, and when you're live, boom. Looks like the Pentagon briefing on the Afghan situation. If you hadn't heard, there was 2 bombs that went off. One was seems like it was at a guard station, has killed a couple of American troops and civilians. The second one was at a hotel. Supposedly it wasn't the Taliban, it was ISIS. It was on the ISIS controlled part of the fence at the airport. So that is why we had an early morning tanking of the markets. That's what you saw. I mean, we literally saw some seriously down red candles, and it was not fun. I did add some stocks last night to the stocks to watch. I see a lot of sell-off, see a lot of going sideways, and I see a lot going down. So I hope today SGOC is at 38% and still grinding up. We can look at it. Look at that. What a beautiful chart. I probably would have gotten out here at the 29 after it went from 36 to 29. But if you're still in that, it's still grinding. May take a little bite of that. That thing seems to be going up quite nicely. I'd like a more steeper angle. Again, that's a grinder, guys. But today, I don't know how many rockets we're really going to see, right? How many retail rockets we're really going to see today. One, it's a sad day. Two, we've got the Fed meeting. It was supposed to be at Jackson Hole. It is now online. They're talking. We had the Dallas Fed chair came out and he said that he believes tapering should begin earlier. Big problem. So markets didn't like that. Markets reacted and down we went. And that was literally 2 hours after the bad news from Afghanistan. I don't know if they're flying planes out of there. So if you're concerned with that, you probably need to turn on the news. We talked about Dix, DKS yesterday. I want to go back to do that again. Dix is doing a special dividend. They're doing so well, $5.50 for the year. I thought that was for the quarter. That is for the year. And they've raised, so that's a special divvy. They've also raised their divvy for the year to $1, I believe $1.75. And they're buying back $400 million worth of shares. Look at Zoom here, guys. You can probably see it there. 19% up, just going sideways. A lot of these are moving sideways. SGOC still grinding. That's why we took a piece of that one. Support is also grinding. This has been, if you haven't watched this before, you've got to get on swaggy stocks. This is what's being talked about all the time, real time on Reddit. Not just Wall Street bets, but includes. But you'll see a lot of these stocks at the top are either moving that day or are positive. Support has been at the top multiple times. But support, Naked Zone, Atosis Therapeutics, and Tesla. SOS is up there making big moves as MMAT. I'm trying to look. You know what I'm saying? Wish has actually moved down. I know James doesn't like to see that, but that's how we're rolling. All right, we're gonna keep up. I'm going to keep these two grinders. I don't like to take on grinders, but today is a red day. We're not risking a lot. We really never do. But today, I will take on some grinders just to make a little cash here. Clearly, I'm just buying one or two shares. If you want to go bigger, be my guest, but this is not the day to go big, right? Directionally, you are trading into a bearish market. At least today, the last 4 sessions have been phenomenal. And that goes back to back to Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wednesday kind of slowed down. We had a sell-off on Wednesday a little bit. And that kind of, so we kind of saw this coming. So some of the positions that I've cut back on have been Square. I've cut back on QQQ. I was not trading today, so if you were in the Telegram group, it was a little bit light. The filings have been light. We typically look at openinsider.com. I would have looked at VBIO, except it was they had to redo this for some reason. That was filed back in May. Some of the ones we looked at yesterday, CERE, it's going nuts today. FireEye's been going nuts for the past 5 days. It's up 9%. I don't know what Hippo's doing. I need to figure that out. I believe we're up. We're probably still up in that trade if you've still got that trade on. So let's go back and see if we can hunt some rockets here. Still looking. We got to the bottom here. Cody up 15% and just straight across, not losing gains, not selling off. So that's COTY. That is the makeup line, the one that partnered or bought actually half of the Kardashian, her lip plump or something like that. All right, gold is up. Dollar is up slightly. So you know what that means. That means that when things, MDIA is that's a grinder today. I'll jump on that one. MDIA, we have called this stock many times. That's a great, I wouldn't say, what is a great meme stock, right? Well, we've had it before, not just on Power Hour, but literally on stocks to watch. All right, Joby, here's what I'm talking about. So you see it hit a bottom. It looks like it could be on a rocket, right? It's turned up like a rocket. It still has to defeat this intraday high of 1128. Right now it's at 1122. Once it gets to 1128, we might just take a little runner on this one. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be turned back by the intraday high. That's just what we found. That's just what we know, right? So before I trade that, we can look at this. It is turning up. This is not the best data that, I mean, it's something that Robinhood does, but it's not the best data. It looks like it's probably getting turned back here, guys. 1128, 1124. We'll buy half a share. I think it gets turned back, but we will see. That's JOBY. They went public through a SPAC. That is the flying cars. Uber used to own them, or own half, and they sold that to another private equity firm, and now they've rolled into a SPAC. So, all right, what I was saying is gold is up due to the geopolitical risk, and the dollar is up slightly as well. Both those are bad for growth stocks, clearly, as we see growth stocks falling, as we clearly follow more of the small and the mid-cap stocks, right? We've got the 10-year T-bill at $1.34. If it defeats $1.40, look out. Growth stocks will react to that. So if it goes above $1.40, growth stocks will absolutely react adversely to that. Looks like, let's see what Moho's going to do here. I don't know if it's got enough. Well, it's got the volume, supposedly, right? But it got turned back right at. We'll put half. Let's just, no, I'm not putting 5. We'll put half. Can I do half? No, I can't. So we'll just keep watching that one as we go by. Let me pull the slot machine here, and we'll fly down here to the bottom. There's about 300 stocks on here. I'm sure if you were on here yesterday, you would know that. As I see it every day. So there's 300 stocks I'm rolling through. Most of these stocks, in fact, 70% of these stocks have been meme stocks, or they pumped, or they've gotten some sort of insider pump, and that's why they're on our list. So just to let you know that. Williams-Sonoma reported today they are doing a $1.2 billion buyback on their shares. Just to let you know that, just give you some good news. I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually in Williams-Sonoma. I'm certainly not, but the revenue was up clearly. That's the name. But they're going to expand. They're going to have an increased divvy as well. But the $1.2 billion in buybacks is going to be all right. Bloomberg is now reporting 12 service members were killed and 15 were injured, for a total of 27 either killed or injured in the two blasts. That is very, very sad. That is not a good way to exit Afghanistan. I agree we should get out. Should have been planned better. That's all I'll say about that. Cardano. I want to talk about it. Cardano has moved into the third biggest, at least by market cap. Now it's fourth today. It's at 250, guys. It's got to hold the 250 mark here. If it does not hold the 250 mark, I would be. I'm not saying I would loosen up a little bit. Let's just say that. But it's got to hold the 250, and it's right on it right now as we speak. It's not had the best day. Let's look at that really quick. Yeah, it's come down quite a bit. So we're at this level right here, that 250 mark. If it does not hold that level, I'm not saying you got to be short. I'm just saying that you got to watch it, and I would loosen it up. It just popped. So it's popping right on it, 249, 251. You got to be, if that could fall quickly. If it breaks under 250 quad-ways, it could fall quickly. So watch that. BTC. Let's go back to it just real quick. So Bitcoin has got to hold 46. I believe it's holding 46, which is good for the entire ecosystem. It's at 46.9. It's been at 47. It was at 49 yesterday. It was at 47.8 last time I saw it. So I really wasn't worrying about Bitcoin too much. We have a lot of stocks just going sideways in the red, and we have a lot of, I'm not even saying sell off. We got stocks going the wrong way, period, right? So looking at just the small caps and the mid caps, guys, they're just in a lot of chop right now, a lot of chop. And we've got to look, if that stock is not directionally bullish, I'm telling you, you're going to have to watch, especially today, which is about done, but tomorrow as well. Still hunting rockets here. Not seeing anybody in the chat just yet. Yesterday we had about I don't even know, 18 people in the chat yesterday. So clearly people are doing the right thing. You know, if it's a down day like this, you stay out of the market because directionally it's bearish. And if it's going to break, hey DB, what's up, buddy? Glad you're here. Yeah, but when we're directionally bearish like we are today, maybe the stock isn't, but if it's sitting on a trend line or a SMA of some kind, of 20-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, it's probably going to break down, and that is not a good thing. So you want to make sure that your stock is moving up. Gosh, we got a lot of red, guys. It's a bloody Thursday, if you would, DB. I mean, it's just bad. So hopefully you've cut your losses. I do see a lot of 2, 3, 4% down. It's not the worst. Clearly, you could be buying the dip here if you've got full conviction in the stock that you've researched, not just somebody told you to jump in a stock, but if you've got conviction in a stock. And I'm not talking about fundamentals. We're going to talk about that in just a second. I'm talking about that you've done some research, you've done the TA, you've looked at the TA, or you looked at the charts, and you know where the bull and the bear pivot is. That's a good place to be, right? And as it goes up, passes that bull pivot, you got to go long, right? So looking for rockets here, guys. Still moving. Joby looks like it's still underneath its intraday. What's up, Mercy? Oh, thank you, sir. TMBR. Am I missing one? Let's roll out. It's starting to turn. It's got to defeat this. It's got to defeat 93, about 94, and I would jump on this. But yeah, it's got a lot of chop, a lot of trash in here. It's got to defeat first. But I appreciate you, Mercy. That's probably one of the stocks that you hold. Sins having a good day. Let's see, DB. Sins was having a good day. It looks like it's starting to turn up here. Just phenomenal volume. It's going to have to defeat 392. It got turned down right before noon, and it's trying to. But you know what? This has been a really good stock for us. We called this stock like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's just continued literally to grind up. I say that it was grinding up, and now it's just kind of going sideways, and now it's just started a little bit of an uptrend this week. Nice to see. It's up 18% for the week, so I can see why people would be taking profits in SENS. So, all right, let's spin the wheel again. Oh, it just needs FDA. Is that what they're waiting on? Do you know when the FDUFA date is, DB? If you do, that's really what we're waiting on. Or if it's going into phase 2, has it been approved by the FDA to go to phase 2 or to phase 3, right? And then the final, no. Okay. So the finals on phase 3, once it comes out, that's called the FDUFA date. It's PDUFA, I believe is how you say it. That is where the FDA makes their final decision. That's why, hey, I've never talked about this before. Biotechs, guys, are a binary. They are a binary company. They either meet the FDA's requirements for their drug or drugs, or they don't, and they disappear, right? And so and until then, a lot of them are black boxes. Clearly, if they go public, they've got to kind of tell you where they are. But we all know a lot of those can be pump and dumps as well. I'm waiting, but I'm along. Anyway, all right. So you've jumped on TMBR. Understand, if I go back to TMBR just real quick, what kind of good volume here? Let me look at look at TM. I don't know if I can spell it right. Be nice, huh? Let's look at this. All right, man, you've written this down. So clearly it's riding that it cannot get above the 50-day SMA. That's what it's got to defeat wherever it's at. So right now that would be about 105. It defeats 105, I'd get long. DB? No. Mercy. Sorry. If it defeats 105, that's where I would get long. Now it's going to have some, it defeats that first, right? And then get real long at $1.31. And then you could probably ride that up. It's going to have some trash in here though, man. Jeez. Yeah, it's going to have some trash. So 131, and then you've got another level, about 170-ish in there, and then you can probably get extremely long. Yeah. Then you'll see like a 230, 229. Those are the levels I would look at. So if you get any more stocks you want me to look at, this is what I do in the Telegram a lot. I can't answer all the questions, but I try to get to the TA. If I don't, there's a couple of guys in there that will. One is James. James is very good as well. He is learning, but he is very, very good and knows where to draw those lines and can tell you where those levels of interest are. Right? I hate to say resistance and support. We like to say levels of resistance now, or sorry, levels of interest now. All right, so biotechs. So it's a binary company, right? They either make a drug that is FDA approved or they don't, right? And that is the key. That's what you have to know about biotechs, right? And so a lot of times you'll see what timber is. So until they come out with some phase 2 or phase 1 or whatever, that stock is not going to jump. Biotechs need a catalyst. In fact, I'm working with one. Hopefully, I'm working with one here in the next 2 weeks, showing what I would do to get their stock price out of the toilet. And when that comes about, I'll let you guys know. In fact, I think I'll have to legally. I think I'll have to let you guys know what stock I am working with, but I'm just getting to know them and see if we can't pull their stock is just a little bit under where they came out of their IPO. Boy, support is just grinding. What are we up now? Are we even up? I thought we bought. No. What happened to my buy? Oh my! You got to be kidding me with this new. Oh, that makes me mad. I thought I bought support, did not. SGOC went the wrong way, 5%. Good God. So if you haven't heard of my rule, you've got to cut losses quickly. We all know that. At 5%, I don't give a damn if it's a long-term stock. I'm cutting that. Long-term stock, I might go to 8 to 10. But if I'm trading it on a swing trade, 5%, I'm done. I'm out. Right? Now, I will let it run. Now, the thing with letting it run, I like to protect profit, especially if it's a small micro cap or a mid cap with all the chop and the choppiness in the markets. I'm basically scalping. That's what I'm doing. I'm not taking an overnight risk. That was a big mistake the past the past 4 days, really. But I can't take that risk. That's just not something that I want to do. I set out yesterday, and I'm setting out today for sure with the market red. GPX looks like it's pulling itself out of the seller. It's not even up a point yet, so you might want to look at that one, guys. Just as you know, I guess my point here is look at that one because I know that to be a very well-known meme stock that can and will pump at times. So we're pulling back, we're casting that lure, and we're throwing our bait in the water, and we're seeing if we can catch a rocket here that's exploding, and we have not seen one to date. ASTR, let's see if this one might turn up. I don't think that it probably will. It's got to defeat 1153. We'll see if it does that. If we'll look like a genius if it does. If it doesn't, well, we already know. What am I down? Support's going the wrong way now. Yeah, I've lost 50 cents. Selling out. Got to already get out of support. It did a pullback on me that I do not like, and with the directional bearishness of today, I am out of that. That's how quickly I want to get out. All right, one of the stocks I was studying today is Palantir. I love that stock. It's one of my long-term stocks. That's why I was actually studying it. But for short-term, here is the bull-bear, what I would call the bull-bear pivot point. To me, right now, it sits about $28. That's PLTR. It's about $28. I would not touch it until it hits that. I'm not even sure where it's at right now. Let's look. But at 28, so you got to about 25 and got turned down. So at 28, that's when I would get short-term bullish. It does look like, as of this morning when I was looking at the full chart, it looks like it's coiling up, right? It's had a fairly good day today, and now it's selling off, which is to be expected. But if it can break out of that upper trend line, in fact, here I'll put it on this one here, PLTR. You'll see why I think. See, it's broken out of the trend line, but now it's just kind of bouncing off looks like the 50-day, right? The reason I like it's right here. There's our line of resistance, and then you'll see it run. So right around 27.7. That's why I said 28. I get real long then, because that would be a hell of a breakout. But again, it's sitting on. It literally keeps bouncing off. At least it's bouncing up off of the 50-day there. So that's Palantir, which is a long stock of mine, just like Square is. Made a lot of money on Square the last 2 years. I found that chart was just a beautiful chart. Then it still remains that it's an ARK. It's a big ARK growth stock. It's a fintech. I like the fintechs. Now, when they start to taper, when the Fed starts to taper, when they start to raise rates, which will be next year, guys, that is a stock that I'll probably pull, right? Because yes, it's a growth stock, but it's going to get hit hard, right? It's also a crypto stock too, which you would hope would have saved them. What would you say the most important book or course you invested in that got you started? Well, when I started, they only had books. I wasn't doing TA back then. This is gonna be a very generic answer, DB. I just get on YouTube, man. I've got a 3-year-old. I'm going to tell him literally when he's old enough. You need to go to a community college. You need to take finance classes. You need to understand the basics of finance. That's 2 years. After that, go be a plumber. Go to a trade school, right? Or here it is. Just watch YouTube on anything. I know a quarterback that was YouTube University. I know a quarterback. It was a backup quarterback in high school. Hadn't even picked up the ball till his sophomore year. Did not start his senior years. Goes to a JUCO. Backs up. He's a 6th quarterback on the roster his freshman year. He just has 2 years there now. He's a walk-on. quarterback. This guy, 3 of the first guys go down. The next 2 guys didn't do so well. So one game they put him in. Literally, he learned how to quarterback from YouTube. Then he got a coach, a little bit of like a trainer, if you would, his freshman year. But his sophomore year rolls around. He gets a shot. That game, he threw for 300 yards. Never gave up the starting job again, and threw for like some ungodly amount of like 3,000 yards in like 8 games, right? He earned a scholarship to a 4-year school and got drafted. Now, how cool is that? All from, and he gives it all to YouTube. So very, very cool. So if there's something that you want to learn on YouTube, now make sure you've got multiple sources, right? There are several sources out there that will mislead you, or they're old, right? Price. So let's just get into this talk now, guys. Price is everything. Fundamentals have literally, I'm not going to tell you they've fallen off a cliff, but they literally do not matter. Price is, let me look at something real quick, guys. Price is, so if price goes up, right? It's like a feedback loop, right? If the price goes up, people want to jump in, and the price goes up more, right? Price is behavior, which drives the price, right? It's like what did Benjamin Graham say? Something along the lines of the market is a voting machine. That's exactly what it is, right? But price drives behavior, which drives price, which gives you this feedback loop. So price is what it is. And if we've learned nothing this year, that the one thing we have learned is that is absolutely freaking true. Yeah. YouTube's is how you found me. Yeah. So there's a lot of good unknown guys out there on YouTube. There really is. Here's BYSI. It looks like it's turning down, but we will give it a shot because we got nothing else going on today. I'm not seeing a lot of rockets. I see a lot of blood, which I hate to see for you guys, but hopefully you did the right thing. You took some profits today. SKYT looks like it could turn up on us. I don't want to go too big there, as I'm sure it'll get turned down. We're at 232. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Good Lord. Good Lord is what they say at the churches. Good Lord. So anyway, so want to talk about DeFi. I saw that that crypto adoption is up worldwide, guys. This is huge. Ready for this? 880%. And that came out through chain analysis about a couple days ago. I forgot to mention that. Maybe I didn't. But the top 5 DeFi adopters right now. Oh, look out. Did we just find one? Nope. I thought live may have gone straight up. But the top 5 DeFi markets right now: US, Vietnam, Thailand, China, and the UK comes in number 5. So I thought that was very interesting. So if you are worried about, that just tells me you got to be long crypto. I am long crypto, period. In fact, I'll be real honest with you. Crypto has outrun all my expectations since 2016. And I'd say 80% of my net worth is crypto now. And I would bet a lot of Gen Z and millennials are in that same exact boat. If they got in 2017, 2016, and they stayed with it, then I think that would be that would absolutely be something that you would see across the board. Absolutely. All right, what are we seeing? Oh, SLGG, look out! We're going big on this one. We're going 2 shares. 2 shares. That's SLGG. We saw this on Tuesday. Pumped it as well. That's the Super League Gaming. If I got that right. Looking at, boy, it gave me some slippage on that on BYSI, or did it pull back? It's pulled back a little bit. What am I down? I'm down 25 cents. Not feeling it. My wife's calling me right now. Excuse me for a second. How funny is this? Katie, I'm on the air. What's up? I'm streaming live.
Test the voicemail, so nobody pick up, please.
Okay. All right. I guess she's testing the voicemail. So we are seeing if the voicemail has gone down, which I don't think it has, but I guess my wife thinks it has. So she's testing that. Sorry to answer that on the air. Been in XRP since 17. Nice. You are part of the XRP army. I hope you got in before December, before it went down 90, much like Bitcoin. I hold XRP. I'm not the biggest fan of XRP. I like Ripple Labs. I like Brad. I actually met Brad Garlinghouse, and I didn't have the best experience with him, but clearly he's knowledgeable, and so I hold XRP just because it was so cheap back then. Here's something crazy, guys. Crypto craziness. I read this last night. So just look at the top 50 coins. DB, if you were around back then, the top 50 coins in 17. Are you ready for this? 34 of those are no longer in the top 50. They're out of top 50. 34 of them. Okay, 11 of them don't even exist. They're done. Right. So the crypto of today. Right. Let's just take a quick gander. Right? Is Dogecoin going to be around in 4 years? Is Bitcoin Cash continue to slip? That was number 2 for the longest time. Is Internet Computer? Is Stellar? Stellar's, I'm a big believer in Stellar, but it just cannot get traction. It's down to number 20. Filecoin, is it going to be around? Tron shouldn't be around. Hate to tell you, but that's one of the biggest shit coins there is. Clearly Bitcoin, Ethereum was like the number 5 coin back then, right? I mean, Bitcoin or Ethereum had just come out 2015, 2016, with V1, came out of beta. People owned it in beta. XRP, it's number 6. It's stuck around. Binance coin wasn't even a thing. So, but anyway, 34 of those coins are no longer in the top 50. 11 don't even exist, right? So people have moved on, and that's what happens when, there's a lot of things that can drive that. The number of developers, the GitHub, the on-chain metrics, so on and so forth, right? What's so great now is now you have things like companies like Glassnode that can do on-chain metrics, track anything you want. I did have a hot take too, guys. So my take is this: if you're moving Bitcoin, so it's viewed as in the ether. When Bitcoin moves off exchanges, that is bullish. To me, that is. I don't know if that's bullish. At least not all the Bitcoin. I think you just keep some Bitcoin on there and literally trade that thing on the way up. If it's directionally bullish, why wouldn't you do that, right? If you're in a good uptrend, which we kind of are now, why wouldn't you? I'm not saying keep all your Bitcoin on the exchanges, but certainly I'm not removing everything. And certainly whales aren't. If you've got 50 Bitcoin there and you own 1,000, what's the big deal? So I'm not as bullish as people tend to believe they are when Bitcoin gets moved off of exchanges. I think that kind of works both ways, right? So also another crypto note as I'm looking for rockets here still in the stocks. I'm not talking much stocks today, guys, and forgive me for that, because you know what? Stocks are just stinking it up today. Even ADTX, which was up, I believe, this week at one point, it might have been yesterday, it's down 30. It's not good. So I hope you guys got out of that if you were, because the Bulls won one day and the Bears are winning today. But again, that's a biotech, if I recall right. I did want to let you guys know something too. All right. You just bought GE. It's a very good defensive stock. GE, Mercy, it's a very good defensive stock. Now, historically, GE has been a great stock to own, but it's the last couple of years it's just gone the wrong way. Play now, it is up 95% in the past year. Did not know that. Let's yeah, the 5 years down 58. So going back to before 2016, it was even before that stock has started to slip, but that is directionally. So it kind of peaked out in May, where a lot of mid cap stocks did. In fact, I think has this thing gone to mid cap stock? No, it's 113 billion. Your mid caps are right around the 35 billion, right? 2 billion to 35 is a mid cap now. Now I think that should be higher. Should probably be 50 to 75 billion. That's what a true mid cap is to me. But 100 billion is it's a large cap, not a mega cap though, right? So so I saw this. The combined trading volume of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Doge, Cardano, Polkadot, and Uni, it topped 25 billion on August 19th, right? That is still well below. Now, this to me is bullish. That is still well below when Bitcoin's price, and when all the alts pumped, when Bitcoin ran to 65, right? And that was in April and May, right? So, really quick, guys. Joby is going vertical here. We love to see it. Give me in there. Let me see if I get some more of this. Love to see it. So our first rocket, guys, our first true rocket here, and it came from a grinder, which is okay. MDIA has moved the wrong way on me, but what I was saying is, you got to look at that as very, very. Gosh, BYSY has also moved the wrong way on me. It just wants to go sideways, and that's okay. I understand. Bears, you got to take. We're down $1.65 today. So that suggests to me that the retail investor really hasn't become more engaged. The retail frenzy, it's still relatively muted compared to earlier in the year, right? And so that's what you have to watch, is when those retail investors hit it and the FOMO, boom, that's when it's going to explode, right? And so there's not, and I got killed on TikTok for this, there's not a lot of leverage in crypto right now. There's leverage, don't get me wrong, there's always leverage. There's just not the leverage that we saw back in May, per se, right? People are using leverage, but they can see there's on-chain metrics of how that works, okay? And they can get with the exchanges and see the leverage. Plus, leverage has come down. Binance pulled their 100x. Who else? Bittrex pulled their 100x. I believe now it's only like 50. Still huge leverage when you're 50x, right? But you get my point. It's not 100x, which would be 2x of that, or 100% more. So I think that's gonna, more leverage will be used as the price. I mean, if we can break 50 and hold the 52 level in Bitcoin, guys, I'm telling you, all your crypto dreams will come true again, as we should be headed up. I believe that there's a stop somewhere in the upper 50s. It might be 57, might be 59. I'd have to look and get a chart out. But with that being said, there's very little supply up there for the demand to break through. And that's what you like to see. That's what you'd like to see. Switching gears here, did see where Pelosi, House of Reps Speaker of the House, has been there for, I don't know how long. I mean, it's so funny to me. Like at 50, they say that the cognitive ability of people goes the wrong way, yet we've got 70-year-olds running the country. How does that make sense? Literally, how does that make sense? So literally, I've got a friend at 50, they either make you take a desk job or they retire you from an air traffic controller. Guess what? That's the way I like it. I need somebody on their toes, who's sharp, who's talking to the planes, routing the planes. We all want that. But somehow we let 70-year-olds run the damn country. We got a 70, what is he, 77, 78 as a president, which, like him or not, to me, his age, not a good thing. I don't want to say it unless early 70s, like a 70 or 71, right? And he's mentally sharp. I might get behind that, right? But boy, it's tough to get behind. I mean, we really need like a young, like, give me like a 60. I'll take a 60-year-old right now. I'll take a 50-year-old for sure, right? There's just, I mean, but who wants to be in politics right now? Support's now turned up. Let's just jump back in here again, which is what we do. It's just a slot machine. We're going to gamble a little bit more. I think we had that thing at 35 is where I think that we had that. I'm going to stick with it a little bit longer. Again, on Swaggy Stocks, it's not number one. It stays, number 1 to number 5. Here's our big one. We're looking at a Joby. It pulled back a tad, but we'll stick with it because literally we have nothing else unless you guys see something. I'm not seeing the type of rockets that we would see on a green day. Yesterday, what did we see? About 3 or 4. Not that they lasted long. ENZ looks like it might. Nope. Got turned back at 372. That's where it's at. We can take a shot at this one. In fact, I will. Because if you lose a couple bucks, I'm just trying to make some beer and pizza money. We're down $2. I'm down $2. That's because ASTR has turned completely down, pulled back, and is now probably going to sell off on us. It looks like what it's trying to do, or it looks like what it wants to do. Again, we'll stay in that grinder there. We're at 246 now. 246. So I want to talk to you about Speaker Pelosi. I got in this big rants. What Biden's delisted. Yeah. Pelosi. So Pelosi is known in the stock community, guys. Like in 2020, she and her husband, who's a great investor, he is a partner in a private equity firm. They're literally doing Amazon calls. They were doing Microsoft calls, crazy stuff. Like on one of their trades that they made like $5 million. It was crazy. Anyway, here's what she just went long on 2 stocks on the 20th. She is long 1.5 million. You can't tell exactly, but there were 2 trades. One was $1 million, up to $1 million. The second trade was up to 500,000. Same stock though, NVIDIA. NVDA, right? She was long, so she's long those as of the 20th. Let's look what that's NVDA. I could not tell if those are calls or not. So since the 20th, look at where she got in right here. So since the 20th, she's up 10%. Where's it? 20th again? Let me see where it is. 6 to. So she's up 9%, 10%, just depending on when she got in, and that's just since the 20th, right? Also, she's long at least somewhere between 250,000 to 500,000. She's also long Slack, just so you know. And that's the ticker on that one's WORK. Work. That's the ticker. So, so wanted to let you know that she is a in the stock circles that I run in. People watch what she trades because you know what? She's been right. She's been right for like 3 years. So she has played this pandy, if you would, very, very well. So just letting you know, my opinion is that if you're in a leadership position, even if you're in Congress, which is a leadership position, you get more inside information than some CEOs do before they even get it. You shouldn't even be allowed to trade stocks. Literally, I mean, you put something long term, as long as you're there, put them in, an S&P index, ETF, QQQ, whatever. my point is, shouldn't be allowed to trade stocks, right? Should be allowed to trade or at least get into ETFs, but even that could be, even that could be considered. See, look at this, guys. 420 got turned back at 420. Just never fails. Let me do some risk management here, guys. Support, I'm going with it. If I go down 3 or 4, I go down 3 or 4. I thought I sold this son of a gun. Sell all, sell it. Getting out of SKYT. I'm out of SKYT. I am red. Wow. See, you just can't get any momentum moving in or at least the last hour. Here's 250 now, guys. Wow. We've been talking a while. Any last minute questions, requests, how we could make this better? I see some people have dropped off. Some people get in. Some people jump in for 2 or 3 minutes, then jump out. So if you got any requests, let me know. I am here I'll start moving out of these positions very, very soon. Make one more sweep of the casino, if you would, and see if we've got any rockets. I'm just seeing a lot of sell-offs and a lot of red, man. So I hope you guys jumped out. OSAT is trying to it's trying to grind up. OSAT is trying to grind up. That might be one you want to look at tomorrow. Again, before we get off here, let me look at the open insiders and see if there's one that, nope, it has not moved. We have not had filings this entire hour, which is very rare, extremely rare. So let's go back to the last couple of stocks here before I start moving out of positions. Support is still grinding up. It just was never the rocket, though, that we thought it might get to. But gosh, it's up 42%. Yeah, DB work. Yeah, that's slack. Slack. That's what Pelosi went very long in. So she's long anywhere from 250,000 to 500 work, which is, it should be slack. I looked at it. Well, what is slack then? It's slack is what she went long in. Why am I not seeing slack? Interesting, guys. I don't see slack was bought. What is going on? Maybe I looked at that wrong then. I know for a fact Nvidia up to 1.5 million, but I don't know why slack is not on there. I guess they were bought. I remember. I'm recalling that now. Let me look at something really quick. I think it's off. Yeah, they were bought. What did I see from her? You know what, guys? I'm gonna check in. If I got time, I'm gonna check into this. So I've got a tool. If I can find it up here, capital trades. Let me refresh this, and this is the 25th. We need to go back quite a bit here. 23rd, 5th, 6th. Come on. Here. Let's see. Let me see if I can find most active politicians. Pelosi. Let's see what she's got. Nvidia. She bought so as of the 20th, she bought Nvidia. Why did I see slack? Somebody was giving me some bad information. All right, so at least we know Nvidia is correct. It looks like the value on the first trade was almost 1,977,000, and then the second trade was between 250 and 500. It looks like it was on the low side actually. So she's probably at it doesn't say what she bought that share price at. So, but 50 would not be in the 250 range. The 5,000 shares would be. So she's long at least $1 million, right? Boom. There you go. That's straight from a trusted source called Capital Trades. That is where I look, right? Capital Trades. Is anybody seeing anything else? DB, I'm sorry, I gave you some wrong information. She is not in Slack. She's not in work. Work would be like what I saw looked like work day, but that did not show any trades from her anywhere close to something called work. So I apologize for that. That was misinformation and fake news. Much like the nightly news, right? All right, we are going to have to close out positions here pretty soon. I'm not seeing anything that I like in the last couple of minutes. It looks like SLGG has tried to move up. We are already in that stock. Tried to find a rocket out of it. Tried to make a rocket out of it. Could not do it, but it looks like it is up. It's not up by much though, and that's probably that's why we're down $2 today. So for the week, we are up maybe $1 if we finish this way here. Anything else? I saw where eToro is going public through a SPAC. If you did not know that, it's a pretty good platform. That's a copy trade platform as well. Joby, you've pulled back on me and you've done me wrong. When I hit the wrong button, selling out of Joby now. JOBY. Again, that is the air taxi startup that went public through a SPAC. But eToro's going public through a SPAC, $10.4 billion valuation. Clearly, it's copycat crypto trade is what it is. Here's what I thought was interesting. I'm looking at it now. Bitcoin accounted for only a small percentage of the commissions on the platform, only 7%. Less than half the contributions of ETH, Cardano, and XRP, and even far less than Doge. So, which is the same thing that we saw in Robinhood, right? Again, Robinhood is not. The hood is not a stock slinging app. I would call it more of it makes its money on crypto, and it makes a lot of money on crypto. So. We'll make one more pass through here. I got 256. Any last questions, guys? I'm here for you. If you need, if you need me to explain something that we do on the channel, I am here. Please, if you're not in the channel, it's free. I don't charge a thing. Stocktrade.tips on Telegram. Let's look at. There is some filings coming in right now, but no new buys yet. So I'll have to go through those. And then let's look at if there's any new filings as of insiders filing. There's not. Wow. That is something that you do not see a lot. We went an entire hour. Swaggy stocks. Let's look at it real quick. Here's what's... So... A lot of these will move during the night. SOS is a mover, guys. It's moved all the way back from the front. Now it's in the top 7. The top 5 is about the same. CTXR was a meme stock and still, I actually like that stock. GNLN. What is it? Golan? Matt staying where it's at. But it looks like SOS has moved up. So, guys, that may be something that you want to watch first thing tomorrow. I put that up on the channel first thing in the morning, along with the VIX, along with sometimes the Dixie, where the dollar's at, where the gold's at, where Bitcoin's at, where the U.S. equity futures are. That's what I give you in the morning, along with some memes, along with some of the stocks that are being traded heavy, the morning movers. You'll get that as well. You'll get some news, typically from the street, typically from CNBC, because those, you can get free. Everybody else, like Bloomberg, it's all a paywall now, right? They'll give you all of the same information on their TV programs, right? Their little business channel. But nope, they're gonna charge for you to read it. I'd rather see it on the TV. You just don't know when it's coming up. What are we seeing today? I'm not seeing, guys. What do we have? Maybe Joby kind of turned up, so we had one rocket. CVGI is trying to get back to that break-even CVGI. You might want to look at that one for tomorrow. Let's see if I can find you some that you might want to look at tomorrow that we've had. Victoria's Secret, VSCO, was spun off from the L brands. As you know, VSCO has climbed all the way back. It was down, it looked like 3, and now it is back to break even. No, it was down 3. Yeah, I thought I saw that. All right, ENZ, you've treated me well, but it's time to say goodbye. And with that, we will sell off you and get you out of here. And then Super League Gaming, what's going on with it? Did somebody... Last time we saw this actually pop like this was an insider, but somebody knows something that I don't know yet. So it's just turned back directionally. It's pulling back, and we just went... There's the bell. Ding, 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 ding. So... Not a great day for me. I'm down 228. It was down another, so I'm probably up $1 for the week. So, that being said, guys, unless you got some more questions, I'm happy to take those on the channel. I appreciate you guys joining me. It's always a fun time. I hope you learned something. That's one of my goals, is not just to, have fun with the Rockets, but I don't know where you are on your trader journey, but I would say this. I hope you got something out of today's broadcast that you may not have had about today's news or some kind of experience that I've had that you hadn't had. So with that being said, guys, you have a great evening. Watch your six. Go hard in the paint. We will